Hey guys, sorry it's been a few weeks since my last upload. Just have kind of been busy and getting things done around the house, kind of getting ready for the holidays and stuff like that. Hadn't been able to spend too much time on the GX, but I do want to do a quick update. So I pretty much have my sport interior conversion done. So what I want to do is kind of show you what all I've done and then talk about parts that I just replaced for kind of black parts or parts that I've painted using this SEM paint. So before we get started, all the stuff that was painted, if it was a hard plastic, use this SEM plastic adhesion promoter. And if it was vinyl, like for the door cards and the dash, I'll show you when we get in there. But anything vinyl uses vinyl prep spray. And it cleans, and it also is, it says it softens the vinyl and I guess kind of opens the pores up so it absorbs the paint a little bit better. And then for anything painted, I use this SEM Color Coat. You can see there in Satin Black, so that's the color that I used. I'm sure matte black probably would have looked fine, but I didn't want it to be too matte, and I figured satin would have a pretty nice OEM look. And I'll say, before I get into it, I've been driving this around during the day, out on sunny days with the sun, all over the sky. And I'm getting absolutely no reflections, off of the dash, which was painted with the satin black. So that was kind of my only big concern was, how it would reflect the sun, driving around, and I have absolutely no reflections off the windshield. It's actually better than previously, before I painted it, because I was getting some pretty bad reflections off of the dash onto the windshield, depending on where the sun was at in the sky. But so far so good. I haven't seen any reflections. So we'll just go ahead and get into it. So let's start with the doors. You can see, previously this whole top section was that kind of dark brown color. So I took the door cards off, masked off everything kind of below this line, masked it off, covered it with a bag. I actually popped this speaker grill out and kind of disassembled this speaker grill because I didn't want to paint the actual speaker itself. And then I just sprayed it, or I cleaned it off real good with soapy water, let that dry, and then used that vinyl prep spray on the vinyl. I used the adhesion promoter on this plastic here, and I actually didn't spray anything except for the paint on the grill. I just cleaned it off and then hit it with the paint. So yeah, no, excuse me, no adhesion promoter or anything on the grill. Excuse me. Yeah, I painted this clip because it was brown, obviously, so hit that with a little bit of adhesion promoter and then painted it black. You can see, I think in one of my previous videos, I'd already had these wrapped matte black. I'm thinking about going gloss black, just because it'll be a little bit truer to the OEM sport interior. So we'll see. I don't mind the matte black now, so we'll just kind of see how it goes. Moving in, we'll just go ahead and talk about the dash. So obviously the whole dash, the whole top of the dash was the dark brown color. So I pulled the dash. That involves pulling the center console, and then pulling the glove box. I didn't pull my steering wheel. I actually just turned the key on and let the steering wheel kind of come out and forward, and then disconnected the battery, and it stayed. And I was able to get the dash out. But you will have to take out, your whole center console, the whole center stack, the glove box, all the lower panels over here. And by the time you get everything off except for the dash itself, there's really only a few bolts holding it in. So it's actually really easy to get out. I got it out in like 45 minutes, Saturday morning. So it really didn't take too long. But again, just clean the whole thing off, hit it with the vinyl prep spray, let that kind of tack up a little bit. And you can, if you go through this process and you're using the prep spray, you'll understand, how the vinyl kind of feels. You can actually feel it get softer after you use the vinyl prep spray. And then that's when, you know, you can go over with your paint and the paint will really saturate or really absorb into the material. Pop these vents out here for the defrost, hit those with the adhesion promoter, and then again, sprayed it with the regular black. These vents, I think I had in one of my previous videos already. These are just black OEM vents off of a GX that I found on eBay. I didn't want to have to paint them and, you know, worry about either not having these symbols or whatever, or painting over or masking them off, you know. So I found a set of these on eBay, bought those. Again, wrap the wood in matte black. I do have the silver Prado kind of center grill inserts just to fully get rid of the wood. Some people are saying, you know, I posted some pictures online and people were saying that, you know, the wood is, you know, kind of a staple of mid 2000s luxury. And I don't disagree. I don't hate the wood interiors, or the wooden trim rather. But with the black and the tan and the wood, it just didn't seem like it was going to go all well together. So I just did, you know, full wood delete. There's no more wood trim showing on the inside. So obviously joining head unit, the steering wheel is out of a 2005 or 6 4Runner that I, again, bought off eBay. It came with a little plastic shroud on the back. This shroud back here, it came in black. These surround pieces, you can kind of see, they're not exactly the same shade. I'm not super worried about it. It's black. It's better than them being brown, but the steering wheel I bought off eBay did not come with those little surrounds. So I did have to take those off my OEM shroud and paint them black. The further back shroud actually covering the steering column, again, bought off eBay. I probably could have painted it black, you know, my OEM one, but it was on eBay. It was cheap. So I just went ahead and bought that. Corner vent over there, same thing as this one. That door card, same process as this door card, and same process for the back door cards. Obviously these don't have speakers in them, so they're easier to work with. But yeah, it's really easy to get the tape, you know, to get a nice clean line. It's actually a separation of material here. So if you can kind of flex it a little bit. I've seen some people take it completely apart and actually remove this section off the top. That's a little unnecessary. It's a lot of work for something that can be easily done just by, you know, shimmying a piece of tape in between the material here. So if you're going to do it, don't worry about taking off the whole top of the door card from the bottom of the door card. Just tape it off. You can look, it's a nice crisp line. You don't have to worry about disassembling it. Center console, I believe I actually may have also had this in a previous video, but I'll just go ahead and talk about it here just so it's all in one place. Whole center console is replaced. I didn't paint anything on the center console. I found a black one on eBay, and I actually found it in a couple different pieces from a couple different sellers. But so all the plastic on the bottom is this is not painted. This is just a factory black center console out of a GX that I found on eBay. It did come with this front section here did come with, well, I actually don't remember exactly, but I found essentially a bundle with the transfer case, the center transfer case, shift knob, and it actually had a regular shift knob too. You can see I'm not using that because it had the wood in the middle. But it essentially was all the handles and the boot. So the e-brake handle, the boot, the shift handle and the boot, and then the transfer case lever and the boot. So all black boots, all black everything. The rear came with a box. I actually put the box, I took the storage box out of my old console and put it in here because the other box was broken. But yeah, other than that, it's all, like I said, it's all replaced. Nothing painted there. I'll put links to, or a link to this shift knob in the description because I just bought that off of Amazon. Everything else I either bought off eBay or I painted. And I can put a link to these in the description as well. Again, I just got them off Amazon. They're all fairly cheap. So yeah, I think it's pretty much it. I think I've covered everything. I'll go around to the other side just to give you a little bit closer look. Sorry for sniffling. But yeah, here's a closer look at everything on this side. So again, you see nice clean lines, nice sharp lines between the top of the door card and the bottom. There's the vent. Again, same with this, same as the other side. I just popped this vent out and cleaned it off and used that adhesion promoter and the same Satin Black. Good condition steering wheel, like I said, off a 4Runner. I just painted the steering wheel black, same process, because it's kind of this vinyl material, so it's the same process as the dash and the door cards. I actually had used some isopropyl alcohol to clean this, and I realized kind of as I was doing it that that was probably a mistake. Because I think it was starting to break down the material a little bit. It came out okay because I only did one pass with alcohol right before I painted, or right before I used the vinyl prep. So it came out, I think, okay. I'm sure if you wanted to, you could probably mask off the Lexus logo if you wanted to keep it chrome, but actually the alcohol started to take some of the chrome plating off of that, or chrome whatever off of that. So I just sprayed it all black. But yeah, you can see nice clean lines. So this is essentially, there were sport models of the GX470 available from the factory with a tan interior. So this is essentially a replicated version of that. So if you look up, Google GX470 sport tan interior, you'll see interiors that essentially look like this, where it's, black instead of the brown along the top of the dash, and then a black center console. And just none of that kind of weird brown color. I just think that was the most unattractive thing about this interior, was just that brown color. I think that to me shows its age more so than the wood does. I think the wood, kind of works in showing that kind of mid 2000s luxury, whatever. But that dark brown was just really unpleasant. And a lot of modern cars nowadays, my wife drives a 2020 Honda Pilot, and her dash is, the interior color scheme of her car is very similar to this black and tan. So I think it looks really good. I'm really pleased with it. I'm sure I didn't do, the perfect job. You can kind of see there's a little bit of, it's not a super even coverage. I did like 3 coats. But I mean, to be honest, doing it out of a rattle can, it can be a little tricky. So it's, it's not absolutely perfect, but it's definitely good enough. And if I ever wanted to touch it up, God forbid, I have to pull the dash again, and it might take another couple hours. So, yeah, I think I started this past Saturday between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning, and by noon, I had the dash back in the car. This SEM Color Coat stuff dries really fast. I don't know exactly what kind of paint it is, but it dries super fast, and so you really don't have to wait too long between coats. It's like 5 minutes between coats, and then I just waited like an hour and a half to kind of let it really dry. Obviously, you're not supposed to handle it, rough for, I think they say like 24 hours to let it fully cure. But it was able to be dry enough to put back in. So yeah, I think that's everything. Like I said, I'll put anything I bought off of Amazon or other, websites. That's just kind of regular stuff you can get. I'll put links in the description. I'm not going to put links for like the steering wheel and the center console, just because you just have to look around on eBay and see what you can find, or maybe Marketplace. I don't know. So I don't really have links to those because they're not regular items like that. I think I just kind of got lucky and found that black center console in a couple different pieces. So yeah, if you have any questions about the process, about what all I had to do, or anything like that, feel free to leave a comment. I'll try to get back to you. If not, and you like the video, please subscribe. We have some other stuff coming. This was kind of something that was relatively inexpensive. I know it took a little bit of time to do, but we still have things coming, like want to get a lift put on, roof rack, all kinds of different fun stuff. So if you're interested and want to follow along with the process, feel free to subscribe. Let me know what you want to see in the comments. I'll let you know if I'm interested in doing it, but it will have stuff coming up, replacing the fog lights with some pods and stuff like that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.